30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame coach Watson Brown, and Young Guns Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in on what has turned out to be a beautiful Tuesday in Nashville, Tennessee, for a variety of reasons. The sun is out, 70 degrees, hard to beat this kind of weather in the middle of fall. Got a lot to talk about. Clearly, I'm in a better mood than I was yesterday. I'll tell you this, at 3 o'clock, you're going to want to see what it is we're going to put together about the Braves' miracle comeback last night against Philly, because it was absolutely insane. It is, to my way of thinking, the most improbable comeback that the Braves have had in the playoffs since the Francisco Cabrera hit in '92. Anyway, it's football season. We got a lot to talk about. And let's start with Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update, brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that absolutely is possible. So dial her up at 615-969-4350. Let's say hello to Terry McCormick, Main Street Media. Terry, how are you?
Good, George. And I got to say that that catch by Harris last night, and then Riley's just his awareness to be able to take that errant flip back in and toss it over to first to get Harper on for the game-ending double play. That's pretty impressive play there by both guys for your Braves there. Riley, he said he wasn't really supposed to be in that spot, so a little bit like how Derek Jeter threw out Jeremy Giambi.
Yeah.
Not quite as dramatic, but certainly in that realm.
Check out the next time you see the play, and I'm going to bring this up when we show it at 3 o'clock. Riley makes a hell of a scoop, and is able to kind of get down low, scoop, and then boom. And that's an underrated piece of that play. But anyway, we'll do all of that at 3 o'clock. Terry, I'm guessing with the Predators going to London that they're practicing today, aren't they?
Yes, we're not able to see it, but they are. The Titans are practicing today, and then tomorrow will be sort of their Thursday, and then Thursday will be sort of their Friday. Then they'll board the plane and head over to London after their work on Thursday, and then get in some time over there in London to try to get acclimated to the time situation and to their surroundings and all. Very interesting contrast, George. The Baltimore Ravens went over yesterday, so they're going to spend the full week in London and prepare over there. Mike Vrabel said yesterday that the Titans felt like that the way things went for them over there the last time, the preparation and all, that they would stick with kind of the same formula, and that included practicing here for most of the week because everybody will be in their familiar surroundings. They won't have to pack up a bunch of extra things to go over there in order to be able to practice.
Terry, when you play Baltimore, obviously it all starts with trying to defend Lamar Jackson. I'm trying to think, going back to the two playoff games, the one during COVID and then the one in Baltimore where the Titans pulled the massive upset. Did they do a spy on Lamar Jackson? How did they try to contain him?
I think they did. I think they, pretty much wanted him to throw the football and not get outside running. I know that was, kind of their strategy in the playoff game where they won up in Baltimore. And if you look at his stats, he put up some incredible numbers. But there were a couple of big plays. There was a turnover, and then there was also the fourth down stop by David Long on 4th and inches that really set the Titans up for success in that game and really kind of did to the Ravens what the Bengals did to the Titans a couple of years later, knocking out a number one seed that a lot of people would thought was Super Bowl bound. So to me, it starts with containing Lamar Jackson's running, taking away the dual threat. Yes, he's improved as a passer. He can beat you with his arm, but you're kind of picking your poison here, and you don't want to let him get loose and be dangerous running the football and turning broken plays, not necessarily just the design runs, but broken plays into huge plays, whether it's, taking off and running or buying time and scrambling and then throwing down the field.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Terry, what else on your end?
Well, it's interesting. A lot of people, a lot of talk about Christian Fulton and how poorly he's played over the course of this year. And, Vrabel said Sunday in Indianapolis and then kind of backed it up yesterday, just talking about how he did consider pulling Christian Fulton from the game. But quite frankly, they don't have a whole lot of other better options. Their better option, they're probably their top option if they chose to take him out right now, would be to slide Roger McCreary from the nickelback position back outside where he played last year, and then put Elijah Molden back in the nickel role. That would probably be their best option if they want to make a change. But I think this really kind of serves to put Christian Fulton on notice that, hey, you're not getting it done. It's time to pick it up or else.
Oh yeah, I mean this is about as public as it gets. Terry, we'll do all this again tomorrow, same time, same place.
Sounds good, George. See you then.
Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update, brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that absolutely can happen at 615-969-4350. Let's head to Murfreesboro and say hello to Kelly Holcomb. Was I in a fog, or did I read a text from you?
No, you read it.
Watched it.
I did watch it. Unbelievable. I just can't. It's amazing the pressure on every pitch in the playoffs, especially in the Braves situation where they've gone through and they've won 104 games during the season. Everybody thinks they're going to win everything, and it just felt like there was so much tension in that stadium last night. Everybody was sitting there and they were just holding on. It felt like they were starting to get some momentum. I think when Matt Olson got that one hit, it kind of unleashed the floodgates a little bit and kind of got people to settle down. And then it's amazing that they were 4 runs down. I don't think how long has it been since they came back from 4 runs like that and late in that game? That was a 6th inning, was it not?
It started in the 6th.
Started in the 6th with Darno's 2-run shot.
Yeah,
and that was in the 7th.
That was in the 7th, actually.
Albies double into the corner that Philly botched.
Right.
So
that was the first run in the 6th inning, right?
But you're right, Kelly. That kind of started it all. After that, you felt a little different. Like, okay, maybe this thing is starting to turn. Because you just got 1 run off the board. You finally got 1 run on the board. They hadn't scored until then, which was.
But it's
crazy.
like every pitch is like pressure packed. Every pitch, like you get 2-0 on a batter. You don't want to get a guy on base with no. It's just
right.
It was pretty.
It's a pressure.
It was fascinating for me to
deal.
watch. Yeah, there's no question, especially with the way that the Braves have played all year and the way that people think that, hey, they're just going to run over everybody. It's not going to happen. It's in the playoffs. So.
No, it's. So you want confessions of a sinner?
Well, you were worried. You had your head in your pillow and you were about to start crying.
No, I basically announced. I was involved in a dinner last night at a friend's house. There are 4 of us there, and I announced when I get there, it's over. They're down 4-0 to Zach Wheeler. Wheeler's an Atlanta kid who has shoved it up their butt for years, and he looked like he was headed the same way. Dinner gets finished. We go into the den. I have the clicker. I'm in control. Channel 1434.
They allowed you to have the control of the clicker, not at your house? Wow.
They did.
Wow.
This was not at my house. So Darno hits the homer, and I remain fairly calm, but privately there's a big old churn going on in the stomach. And I've sort of made the vow that, look, I'm not going to show them just this wacko side. But when Austin Riley hit his ball that I didn't think was hit well enough to get out, I stood up and yelled, "Get out!" And everybody looked around like social embarrassment.
Who's this guy?
It was funny. And then in the ninth inning, I didn't. There was no pretense of any, proper etiquette. I mean, first of all, I thought the ball was gone.
I did too.
Was it Castellanos that hit it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I thought that was out of here.
I thought it was gone.
It was hit well, but not well enough. And then Harris leaps up, makes the grab, and he overthrew the
he sure did.
the cutoff guy, but Riley was right there and chucked it over. I mean, that had to be quick now. I mean, to scoop it and to gather and throw. And Harper also, I don't know what he was doing.
Well, he made the decision, and it was the wrong decision, that Harris couldn't catch it. And to be honest, I didn't think he could either.
I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't blame Harper too much.
No, absolutely not.
But you can't.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to give credit to the Braves there.
Baseball, not etiquette.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on etiquette. That you basically go to second base and then wait and see. And he went too far.
I want to go back to Kelly's point about that first hit from Albies. Trey Turner made a bad error at shortstop there to allow the run. And you can't give the Braves anything. I mean, that was a gift-wrapped first run on the board. And I thought, after that, I agree with Kelly. It felt like there was a different mojo after that. And now, if you're the Braves, you've got the confidence, you've got the momentum. Now, it's going to be tough either way.
Phillies got the crowd.
It's going to be tough either way to go up there into an SEC-type atmosphere, but the feeling is totally different than if you were to go down 2-0.
God, it sounded so different last night. On Saturday, from about the fifth inning on, it felt like the body is in the plaster room. If you'll go in, pay your respects, it felt like a funeral home. And then you'd have a few, checking out SEC games, but there really wasn't a lot. And then last night, apparently, they turned up a Philly kind of noise.
Yeah.
There will be a film that we show that at the end.
Cover your ears.
Man. Holy cow.
The field level shot. They had a field level shot. I don't know if you saw that one, Kelly, but it's pretty awesome because you can tell how the crowd, they get excited during the catch and then they kind of quiet down as the throw's coming in, and then it just erupts as soon as they get that final double play. So
it's crazy.
We'll show that about 3:00. Also last night, Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 4-2, and they go up 2-0 on the Dodgers.
Way to go, Diamondbacks.
Headed back to Arizona. So,
I'll say this. If I'm Arizona, I try to close it out tomorrow night. You give the Dodgers any life, they'll bury you.
Happy for Arizona, and I think a lot of Braves fans are happy for Arizona.
Thrilled for Arizona.
Yeah. Today, we've got Sonny Gray back on the mound for the Twins. He's trying to put them up in that series against the Rangers. They're against the Astros, actually. That series tied at 1.
Biggest game he's ever pitched?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
I mean, making another playoff start, and he's the guy to go to if you're the Twins. He's one of their best guy, arguably their best guy right now. So Twins at 3:00, and then Orioles-Rangers tonight at 7. Eovaldi's going for the Rangers. This might do it tonight.
I hate this for Baltimore because if this is how their season ends, it's exactly what I worried about with the Braves. That if you lose in 3, all the great work you've done just kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
Poof, man, it's gone. It's crazy.
That's the brutal part of it, but we'll see. We got a couple of more games today. NHL season debut, season opener for the NHL tonight. Preds Lightning down in Tampa, 4:30 on ESPN.
Let's go Preds.
Let's go Preds. We got the debut for Andrew Brunette in the Barry Trotz era. So.
First 5 games of the season are really hard. You can't secure a playoff spot in the first 5 games, but you can sure do yourself some real damage and get in a big hole. Kelly, they need, in my opinion, 4 points out of these 5 games because it's a murderer's row. Tampa, tonight down there. Home Thursday night against Seattle. At Boston. Edmonton here at the New York Rangers. Wow.
Oh, wow. That's all
Who
playoff
did the
teams.
Preds tick off?
Buckle
Yeah,
up.
that's all playoff teams from last year, is it not? Good
Buckle
gracious.
up, Buttercup.
Well, I think Burnett, when we had him on, was laughing when you said that. Who did Barry piss off at the office?
Right.
I think he agreed with you.
It was a good line.
But yeah, so Preds Lightning at 4:30, earlier start than normal. But I think it's preparing for tonight's debut of Connor Bedard against Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, they're doing
for the Blackhawks.
They're doing a triple header. ESPN suddenly trying to act like they really care about hockey,
and they're doing a new red zone type deal for the NFL. They're doing the hockey red zone version. I think. I guess it would be every night.
A year ago, they stuck it all on that ESPN Plus paywall deal, and only when they got to the playoffs did they really start to show everybody the stuff.
Well,
I'm hoping this means it's a little different this year.
I still think TNT, like basketball, is better than ESPN's coverage with what's it, Paul Bissonnette and those guys.
Bissonnette's a character.
It's hilarious. But Preds getting started today. Also, last night, Raiders finally get on the board with a win. They beat the Packers 17-13. Jordan Love, 3 interceptions. He was bad last night.
Good pick, George. Good pick.
Kelly, somebody's keeping up.
You know things are struggling when one game feels like a winning streak.
We'll check that record a little bit later.
Yeah. George, do you moonlight? Do you moonlight as a bookie every now and then? Not really.
No, I do not.
You don't? Okay,
I do not.
Thank
you for asking, though. That's really nice. Very classy.
Tough news for Minnesota. Justin Jefferson on the IR.
Oh gosh,
because of the hammy.
And the same thing with the running back in
Devon A-Chain. I was just gonna bring that up. He's gonna miss a couple of weeks. So
where did he go to school?
A&M.
Texas A&M.
Oh my God, that's right.
He was really good at A&M.
But did he
really
have
fast.
this kind of an impact at A&M?
That's a good point, George. He was good, but he's making a huge impact in Miami. Of course, not anymore with this injury, but he's one of those guys, Kelly. You see him in college where they're like Jalen Hurts or Kamara with Tennessee, right? They're just not. They're coached so poorly that they're not as good as they probably can be. But they get to the NFL in a good system, and boom, off they go.
Well, they got 2 really good running backs. Mostert down there too, and he can run. But both those guys can run. That whole team can run. They were showing how fast they run. They're measuring things by miles per hour now, and he runs almost 22 miles per hour. It's crazy.
All right,
I did that one time, and it turned out negative, minus 1.3. That means you're not hauling. You know what?
No.
Yeah,
you're like the battery leaf of Nissan. That's what you are, George.
All right, rumble through some college notes. Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels is doubtful for their game against Oklahoma State this week. So that'll be the 3rd straight week he'll be out.
Keep going.
Mark Stoops, quote, "Fans have the right to complain on his coach's show. I just encourage them to donate more because that's what those dudes are doing." Talking about Georgia, I can promise you, Georgia, they bought some pretty good players. You're allowed to these days. We could use some help.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, wow, nice.
This and more after the break. We'll go to Knoxville and we'll talk with longtime sports talk show host Tony Basilio after the break. So stick around. We got a lot to cover today. This is the George Plaster Show.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from, and for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615 824-5685.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? We still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Well, I think all of you know it. It's a huge 3 weeks coming up for Tennessee. A&M Saturday in Knoxville, 2:30 Central Time on CBS. At Alabama a week from now, down in Tuscaloosa, 2:30 on CBS. The Kentucky game, not yet decided. That'll happen next Monday as to where and, well, we know where, Lexington, but when and all that kind of business. So, with that in mind, let's head to Knoxville, say hello to Tony Basilio. Is that an A's cap?
It is
an A's cap, baby.
Oh, my God.
It's beautiful, too, isn't it?
Wow, it's come to that.
It has come to, after last night, George, it has certainly. Were you down there last night? Or
no, I was there Saturday. It was a morgue.
Oh, man. Baseball's a cruel sport, boy, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Ignorant, isn't it? It's ignorant, isn't it?
I'm about to turn Kelly into a baseball fan, I think.
Gosh, I'm sitting there watching baseball last night because of George and you. I mean, good gracious, you're the Phillies, George is the Braves. I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching this. There's a football game on. What are we doing?
Well, I don't know if it was a football game. Mark Griffin texted me yesterday and said that we ought to do a bet where one of us wears the other team's jersey. And I thought, Mark.
Fair enough.
No,
I agree.
There's a lot of things I'll do in life, George, but wear a Braves jersey.
See, the Phillies.
You know the Meatloaf song, man. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that, buddy.
The Phillies, what I love is they're going back there. Yeah. And that place will be, Billy called it an SEC football atmosphere, and that's exactly what it'll be.
It's amazing. They don't sit down. My brother got his wife and then his daughter, her husband, and the 2 kids tickets to that thing tomorrow, and they're going to be in the middle of it. And they are going to have an incredibly great time. I'll tell you, it is it's a great time of the year. Last night's game, George, I forgot you could hurt that much after a game. You lose a 4-0 lead like that in the Phillies, and I bored people with it today on the show. I didn't mean to bore people with it, but at the same time, that was really an amazing, amazing, amazing comeback by the Braves. And now they have life.
What do you think it is In sports, certain teams appear to have other teams' numbers. The Ravens, for a long time, had the Titans' number.
Yeah.
I walked out of Truist Park Saturday night saying the Phillies have the Braves' number. And I can't figure out, I don't know what it is that causes it, but I have felt that way.
I just think some teams play with a lack of fear against other teams. And I also think the Braves have like this history, George, with the postseason where they just. My son was there last night, and he said the Brave fans around him, and he wore Philly stuff, and the Brave fans around him were like, we're going to lose. We're going to go down 2 games. You guys are going to sweep us. Like, that was a belief. And, George, I kind of get the sense that once you start to believe or disbelieve, it's a dangerous place to be, But I'm of the belief that if Turner didn't commit that error last night, I don't know if the Braves score.
Billy?
They were really on their heels. I mean, they were really in the soup.
They were dead.
And in baseball, you just can't do what the Phillies did. You can't take a team like that and say, here's a run, it's 4-1. And you know what's coming next. You watch sport enough.
Okay, I'll shift it to where we normally go.
Yeah.
This is a dumb question, but you're used to that from me. Would you take 2-1 in this 3-game deal and never play it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I asked my listeners last week, I'll make a deal with you. You get to win your 2 home games, but you lose the rest of your road games. Would you do it? And some people were saying yes. That's just honesty, This Tennessee team from here is capable of, look, if Tennessee was to win their 2 home games, if they were to do that, that'd be wins over A&M and at the end of the year, Georgia in this building. 2 rather loud booms. And then, of course, you'd give it back at Kentucky, at Alabama. But to your point, look, it's going to be really difficult. The thing about A&M, while you have that graphic up there, they're unranked, right? Which is a weird thing because they have a tremendous amount of talent, as we all know. I had a beat writer on there from there today who's joined us several times, who's really, really a great guest. And Robert Cessna's his name. He's been down there for forever. He's a Pittsburgh guy, but he's been there for 30 some odd years. This is what Alabama did in a victory over the weekend. They got away with this now. I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but I'm going to share it with you. They committed 14 penalties. They lost the turnover battle. They rushed for only 23 yards. They were 4 of 12 on 3rd down, and they gave up 6 sacks. And when you count sacks and hurries, it was well into the double digits. And they still won the game. And we talk about belief. And that's Texas A&M history, George, in a nutshell. You and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. Their history is such that if you will find a way to underachieve, they're the ones that are going to do it. Their last division championship was 1998. And they've been in divisional leagues for 25 years. 1998. I mean, think about that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So let me try it this way.
Yeah.
So another loss to Jimbo, if it happens Saturday.
Right.
How close to the edge is he getting?
He coached Saturday like a guy that doesn't want to be there. I don't know in my life if I've ever seen somebody let a clock run down in the second half, take a timeout, which is your first time out of a half, down 2 scores and come out and kick a field goal. I mean, what are we doing? What you do there is you go out there and kick the field goal, if you're going to do that, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and then you onside kick the ball. No, you kick the ball off. You've got 3 timeouts. You make Alabama get a first down to win the game, or you get it back in your building with a shot to make something loud happen. You can't do either or there, though, which is what he did. And, George, I just wonder about him. I wonder if Jameis Winston never came along, if we'd even know this guy's name. And I'm being serious when I say that.
It is an interesting thought that you've got, because he's gotten a ton of money.
Yep.
He's under down there what would be kind of almost Calipari-like pressure.
Yeah.
Because down there, this is a religion down there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look at the number of people in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if there's a piece of him that is just sort of said, I'm ready to get bought out.
I think a lot of these guys get to that point where it's almost that be careful what you wish for adage.
Yep.
You get one of these jobs. We know people in our industry who, climb way up there, and you talk to them and they're like, God, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait. Everything I dreamed of. I got everything I dreamed of, and I just couldn't wait to get out of there. A&M under Jimbo Fisher in SEC road games as an underdog, he's 0-9. Never
Good
won a
Lord.
game as a road dog. Never won a game. Hasn't won a game on the road in 2 years.
And now he's coming into Neyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an easy place, huh?
And Tennessee has a week off. And I have the weirdest feeling that I do not like Tennessee's chances in this game. I don't know why. I would have loved Tennessee's chances if A&M would have defeated Alabama, because they were not going to handle that spot well. That's the history of their program. They
wouldn't come out of the clouds.
Yeah, they would have given it right back. Now it's almost like you're playing a team that's super talented with a great defensive line that's going to come at your quarterback, that held Jalen Milroe in the pocket last week and made him play from the pocket. They're going to do the opposite with Joe Milton. They're going to force him either right or left to get out of the pocket. Joe has trouble throwing the ball on the run, which is pretty documented. And so far, Joe Milton's top passing day as an SEC quarterback is 287 yards. Both quarterbacks that beat that A&M team got well into the 300s. And I think that Milton's probably going to have to do that Saturday for Tennessee to win, because I think A&M's going to take that running game away from the Vols. And look, the Vols have a top 10 running attack in America, and they've got a great stable of backs, but A&M's got an NFL defensive line. They just do. I mean, they're very good at tackle. They're very good at end. They rotate several guys. They're going to turn this thing into a big boy game Saturday. The good news for Tennessee is there's a guy in A&M secondary named DeBerry, who ought to be called like Route DeBerry or the DeBerry Highway, because everybody throws on him. Miami targeted him. He's a transfer from, I want to say, he's a transfer from somewhere. But there's another transfer from the ACC who's injured, and so they're kind of down to him. But Miami picked on him, and Alabama just picked him apart last week. I feel sorry for that kid, because that's what's going to happen in Neyland Stadium Saturday.
Attention, Kmart shoppers. We're going.
Blue Light Special on DeBerry Island.
Kelly, what do you got?
I was just thinking, like, if you're Jimbo Fisher and you're guaranteed all this money, I mean, that's the way a lot of coaches are thinking. I mean, I'm not saying that the guy's trying to get fired, but just like what you talked about, like, he's going to get his money regardless. So some of these guys get in positions where they just don't want to be there anymore, and then they get paid anyway. So, I think that's kind of where he is. And I'm glad you said that, because I don't think this is a great matchup for Tennessee. I really don't. I don't know if he's fighting. I don't know if he's fighting for his job, but they're going to be ready to play. And I'm kind of like what you said and what George said. If they would have won last week, they'd have still been in the clouds. But he's got to win this week, I think. And I just don't think it's a good matchup.
I agree with you. Look. Football's still a line of scrimmage game. I mean, we can sit here and talk about, well, this and that. The other thing is Tennessee's one of the least explosive teams in the country. And they're playing a team that, in order to defeat this team, you have to make explosive plays. It came from Jermaine Burton last week for Alabama and a couple of wide receivers. I don't know who it comes from with the Vols. Their leading receiver this year, Squirrel White, doesn't have a touchdown catch. They only have 5 catches among their wide receiving core, touchdown catches on the season. I mean, we're 5 games into the year, and you haven't played a hard schedule. People say, well, Tennessee's running the ball. I mean, that's well and good. That's right. That's correct. But they've left so many passing plays on the field, and I'm just a big believer in, until I see it from you, I'm going to be suspect that you're able to do it. And they're going to put this game, A&M, as I believe this now, they're going to make Joe Milton consistently make passing plays on them. And Tennessee's last game out, they had 8 big plays through the rushing game, 2 big plays through the passing game. A&M is not going to do what South Carolina did with Tennessee. They're not going to let them run up and down the field. They're not going to have bad run fits with their linebackers. They're just not. I mean, they're just not. If you watched them last week, they're going to force this quarterback to make plays. Now, can he? Sure. Yeah, he can. I mean, everybody's allowed to get better. Everybody's allowed to have a great day, but I'm with Kelly from the standpoint of matchups wise. I do not like this game from a Tennessee perspective. There's one matchup I love, and that's Josh Heupel as a head coach in the moment against Jimbo Fisher in this spot as a head coach. One guy knows who he is and what he wants to do, and that's Josh Heupel. One guy last week was going for it on 4th down in the first half, and then in the second half went into a shell. You either coach one way or the other in these games. You can't do both. You cannot rob Peter to pay Paul when you walk into one of these football games. You can't kick a field goal after you take a timeout at the end of a game. Can you, Kelly? Can you walk your team out there and do that after you burn the timeout?
That was messed up. Yeah, that was messed up. And I talk about it all the time with the Titans. Is there anybody on this offense? It's amazing that Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman are gone. And like now, I told this to George the other day and watching when he was on yesterday. Like, who scares you on the Titans receiving core? Like
Nobody.
DeAndre Hopkins can catch the ball, but he's not fast anymore. I mean, he's and I don't know if he's ever been great being fast, but now you got Brew McCoy out, which was he's a really good player. And just watching Jacob Warren talk about him, he was a guy, and he does other things. He would block for guys downfield. Like, how much are you going to miss him? But like, who scares you on this receiving core to make the big plays that you got last year? Anybody?
Nobody. Not yet. Now, there might be a couple of kids that are sitting there that will have an opportunity to see emerge. But right now, the answer is for Tennessee, Squirrel White made a big play down, caught a ball down to the 5-yard line the other day, like a 45-yard catch. I think there's an opportunity for him. But again, he doesn't have a TD reception on the year. I mean, that's but Jermaine Burton last week, coming into last weekend against A&M, this is how bad A&M's pass defense is now. He doubled, basically, on the year his yardage and his touchdown catches in one game. That's how bad A&M's pass defense on the back end is. Now, their linebackers and their front line is going to get to you. But there will be plays to be made in your secondary. Can Tennessee's receiving core, to your point, can they make those plays? And while we're on the subject of the Titans did something Sunday that I just cannot for the life of me understand why NFL teams are still doing it. Look, I'm an Eagles fan, okay? You got 4th and
pretty
short.
Good, too. They're pretty good.
You got Derrick Henry in your backfield. Why in the hell are you snapping a ball in a shotgun 7 yards backwards and handing him a football? Why is anybody doing that? In the modern game, when in college and pro ball, you can line up in a formation and do that, whatever they call it in Philly. Some people call it tush push, or I'm not really comfortable with that, but whatever people call it, why wouldn't everybody, seriously, George, 4th and short, put your two biggest guys back there behind Tannehill, who's a big guy, and give him the football. How hard is that?
Tony, George really loves that play. Ask him about what he thinks about it. He really loves it. He likes it. He likes the tush push.
I think it ought to be outlawed.
He's right. But as long as it's a part of the rules, George,
you're right.
Do it?
You're exactly
right. You can't
stop
it. You can't stop the play.
By the way, when Watson was on yesterday,
yes,
I don't think he wants to be your daddy. I think he's trying to make himself feel younger by saying, I'll be his big brother.
His brother. He did say that. He did say that. I'd rather be his brother than his daddy.
When is his next appearance on your show?
Tomorrow. I'm calling it Wednesdays with Watson.
Very nice.
That's great. And
we still call this thing Tuesdays with Tony, George. If you stop and think about it, I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Ran this thing here
next week.
And I tried to get Watson to help me because I'm still not on the opener, and I'm still really upset about it. I really am upset about it. I mean, it's amazing, but I can't even get on the opener. And like Watson is trying to get me on the opener because he's still on, and he's on for 30 minutes a week.
I don't see you in the commercials either. I mean, I'm not trying to start anything here, but
no, you are. I mean, you're right.
In the commercials,
you're right. I mean, it's unbelievable, Tony.
George, I don't see Kelly.
I feel like Ronnie Dangerfield. I have no respect, dude. I get no respect. Well,
let me tell you how pathetic he turned yesterday. He put a threat out on the air that unless the Open is changed, he will not participate in the Plaster and Friends
sticking with that too.
Celebrity Bowling. So
sticking with it.
So hey, George, I am asking you, I'm begging you to be a part of this event, and to hell with Kelly. You know, let's just throw him to the wolves.
I'm always in for any good cause, but when is the event? It's like in the winter, right?
Yeah, the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. What are the chances by then that Kelly's on the Open? Like out of 10, what would you say?
I think Kelly, they're pretty good. But let me put it this way.
I don't think they're good at all.
2.5.
It's not my biggest
priority.
25%.
It's not the biggest priority.
I mean, but we're falsely advertising here. We're saying Watson's on the show and he's not on the show anymore. I mean,
he is on the show. He's a part of the show. He is in an emeritus status.
It's called bait and switch, Kelly, is what we call it.
What do you call it?
Bait and switch. We want to get people in thinking they're going to see Watson and hope they stick around.
And then it's me.
When they see
That's me. That's great. That way to go, George. Way to go, George. That's all.
That's great.
That is hilarious.
I hope you get taken down by the FDIC or something, dude. It's unbelievable. Let's
FDIC is a bank. That's a money.
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever
not the
it
FCC,
is.
You
FCC,
idiot.
My bad. I am an idiot for that. I was thinking the FCC and I said FTC.
Oh, my gosh.
That's funny.
Tony, does this kind of thing happen on your show?
Every day. I am, my Bino,
FCC,
my partner, Bino, these many years, he says that I'm a magnet for morons. So any moron in Knoxville finds my show and calls it. And then the silliest, goofiest, yes, I will get silly with you. But
so
I'll tell you this, guys. This SEC this year is really insane. Nick Saban's about to take a 9-3 team to an 11-1 year.
You're right.
That's what A&M did. They have a 9-3 roster.
And Tennessee probably wins. And if Tennessee wins on Saturday, you'll probably look back at a huge coaching mistake by Jimbo.
There's no question.
Listen to your future employee there.
And then how about Georgia? Everybody thought Georgia, and then they just waxed Kentucky. Ooh. Waxed them.
Yeah,
and then Stoops said, we need more money. We got to get some players.
We got to have more money. Hey, coach, how about lopping $1 million of your salary off and putting it in? No.
We can't do that.
Or get in your friend John Calipari's bank account.
There's another good idea. Mark Griffin's got a great line. He says, if you go to lunch with a coach, you'll hear a coach say everything to you, but I got that check.
They do
Coaches
one of these.
Are not going to pay. That's right. They're alligators. They're Kevin Willis. Short arm.
Oh, you are a beauty. Okay, how can they hear you, in particular Saturday, for the post-game show that never ends?
Well, and that's a good – I mean, look at me. Look how weathered and worn out I look. tclub.team is the website. And, George, Game 5 of the Phillies will be going on then. So that's going to be like an 8 Eastern start. that game because Dodgers will not be alive. That series will not be going on. That series ends tomorrow night, in fact.
Good.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of us wants to play that Arizona team, by the way. So it's not going to hurt my feelings if you guys get past the Phillies in 5. But I will be doing the show in here with my family sitting upstairs, fully distracted, taking one for the team, so to speak. But we're at tclub.team, and we'll be on for several hours after that A&M game, which I think will be a really compelling, interesting SEC football game that could go either way.
Okay, can I be honest with you?
Yes.
If there's a game 5,
yes,
I'll probably be there.
Right on, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame you. There's just nothing like, I was trying to tell my niece this yesterday, there's just nothing like playoff baseball. You go live to that, and now Saturday's game probably didn't feel that way to you, George. But,
no, it did not.
But when Trey Turner made that play, you guys were getting ready to steal that game.
You're right about that. He made a hell of a play at short.
Yeah.
By the way, I just lost a train of thought. Anyway,
that happens.
We'll end here. Say goodbye to Mr. Jealousy over here.
Mr. Jealousy, I side with you today, Kelly.
Thank you.
I think you. In fact, George, I want him on the open before Tuesdays with Tony next week. But you can make a Tuesdays with Tony graphic, and I'll forgive you. And but Wednesdays with Watson is tomorrow, my deal. So there you have it.
Tell Granddad hello for us.
I will. He's my older brother.
Right.
And Billy Derrick, there's room for you, brother, in the Vol Nation. Room for you. Come on down, Billy. Man. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to put you on the phone with Tony Vols. He's going to be on my show Friday. Maybe I'll put you on speed dial, and we'll get you guys interlinked and change your life.
Billy, you're already ahead of me. I have not been on his show.
Change your life. Man. Wow.
But I fear it's going to happen soon.
Love you guys.
We explain Kelly's departure.
Yeah. Thanks,
See
guys.
you.
See y'all.
See you, Tony. Oh, he is a beauty. Love having him on. Okay, I have no idea what we're going to talk about when we come back, but I do know this at 3 o'clock. Braves fans unite. Get ready to see it again with at least one angle you probably haven't seen for an ending that is completely out of control. Stick around.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House for all your personalization and recognition needs. Forget the fact that Sir Speedy Music City is owned by my BGA classmate James Warren. Their work stands on its own merit. James and his staff do incredible work, as evidenced by the huge banners at the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. If you're looking for quality to help your marketing and business communications, and you want it at a reasonable price, these are your folks. Call them at 615-832-9511 or go to print at sirspeedymusiccity.com. And be sure to tell them Plaz sent you.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
Kelly, I think Billy is looking for an audition tape to send to Tony. So we're about to give him about a 4-minute segment where he gets to show Tony just how brilliant he is, good young broadcaster, making a name for himself. Billy, this audition tape for Tony comes down in 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
We start with college football TV ratings over the weekend. Top 5 most watched games. Number 1, Oklahoma and Texas, 7.8 million.
No question.
Horns down.
Yeah.
Horns down.
Can you guess what was next? It's a close second.
The Vandy, Florida game?
No.
No. It was
Alabama.
A&M, Alabama, yep.
And then?
UL Monroe, App State.
No. LSU, Missouri.
No, Louisville, Notre Dame. They got up to 5.1 million, and then Ohio State, Maryland, and then Georgia, Kentucky as well. I would have thought LSU, Missouri would have been higher up there too, Kelly. I guess after LSU's late touchdown, and then I don't know. I guess you think it's maybe a problem? Like you tune in and you're looking at Como, you're looking at Columbia instead of Aggie Land or Knoxville or Alabama. Missouri's a good atmosphere, but it's not one of the coliseums, and a lot of people, if they don't see an electric atmosphere, they might tune away. I don't know.
I'm not buying.
I'm not buying that on TV. I mean, I'm a clicker anyway, so if the game's not interesting, I'm moving on. You know what I'm saying?
What do we think? Because baseball ratings up until a year ago had been like test patterns. We have any idea what the last 30 minutes of the Braves Phillies was like last night? Because you got a huge Philly Eastern market, the whole South, all of my people watching. I would think the audience would have been pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything out yet. I'm sure it'll be out here in a couple of days. But
see, that'll hurt you on that audition tape. You should have had
it. Is you got to be ready, dude. Like when somebody asks a question, you've got to be ready. It's like when you're sitting into a offensive meeting and the head coach asks the running back, "Who you got on this play?" and he goes, I don't know, coach. That don't work, dog.
Doesn't do it, does it?
that don't move the stick, Hoss. You better know. And the guy was a middle guy. And he was with me in Buffalo, and I told him, I put my arm around him after that, and I'm like, hey, brother, it's different from an offensive coordinator. He's obviously going to go back. But when the head coach asks you a question, you better know it, because if you don't, you're not going to be here. And guess what? He wasn't there very long.
88 out the gate.
Gone.
I would have loved to have been in some of those meetings with Boots. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. He didn't really mess with us too much in the meetings, but like he was like every day he would come out there and it would be like, I'm going to mess with Holcomb today. So he would get right behind me when I'm in 7-on-7, and it would like he would put his cigarette and then he would cup it in his hand so you couldn't see it, and he'd go, Kelly, throw the ball in front of him, son. So then the next pass I would be a little high. Get the ball down, Kelly. Get it down. He can't catch it. He don't want to catch it across the middle high, son. And then I wanted to like on the third time I wanted to turn around and like try to. I wanted to try to put the ball right here and says, was that good enough, coach? I mean, good gracious, dude. I mean, we were in practice one day and we went over this play for 4 times and I couldn't get it right for him. So I seriously was about to take the ball and throw it straight up in the air and say, Coach, is that high enough?
God. The stories never end.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, man.
Last thing for the audition
This is
here.
Beautiful.
George.
How do you think you're doing so far? You think you've got his attention?
I've helped him here. I've helped him, no question.
With a little push from Kelly. Heisman odds.
It was a poor start, to be honest.
Who do y'all think is the leader in the Heisman odds?
Caleb Williams.
Wrong.
Brock Bowers.
Wrong.
No,
hold on. Time out.
Drake May.
Drake May.
Wrong.
Whom?
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix.
According
to
BetMGM. This is just one outlet, but Caleb Williams.
What's DraftKings say?
They're the ones that matter. I mean, at this point, they're the ones that matter.
Yeah.
They're going to do their best not to give it to Caleb Williams for the second time. They're going to nitpick him to death. There's no question about that.
His socks are too high.
A player that's risen, Dylan Gabriel. He's kind of rising up the boards. I think. If they go undefeated, he played his butt off against Texas.
He's a good player.
Has a tight end ever come close?
Nah.
Jason Witten.
This one might ought to.
He should.
He's good. He should
He's
be
been
there. He
an
should be
NFL
up there.
Tight end for 3 years.
He's a dang running back too. I mean, he's got like
everything.
5 carries a game.
Okay. After the break, we'll have stat of the day, which will be ridiculously hard. God, we need a layup.
These have been like final exams.
Oh my God, we need a layup. What countries participated in the Peloponnesian War? How the hell would I know? We're getting some really tough stuff.
Don't be hating on Matthew. He works hard for these stat of the day.
I know he is.
When I see him, I wouldn't know him from a crowd, but when I see him, I'm going to punch him right in his throat.
That's a Plaster team member, Kelly.
And then, after we bomb out on the question, we will show you some stuff from Truist Park last night with this tagline. I wish I had been there. Stay tuned.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank & Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank & Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank & Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. So who said I can't be a golfer? Well, you know what? This is X Golf, located just down the road from the Fordyce Center in Bellevue. This is fun. It'll improve your golf game, and you need to stop in and check it out. 8138 Sawyer Brown Road, and who knows, I may get to 200 before it's all over.
All right, I'm here with my buddy Chip Ward from Lincoln Home Loans. And Chip, it's football season, and it feels like it's moving season every time of the year, especially here in Nashville. Tell us about your business, Chip, and kind of introduce people to who you are and what you do here in the Nashville area.
Well, you're exactly right, Billy. It is definitely moving season, as it is most times, especially right here after Labor Day. Kids are back in school, and people are starting to think they want to get settled in before the holidays. And so what we are doing is right now we are getting a lot of people pre-approved for home loans. Inventory has ticked up a little bit. You know, it has been down, but it's rebounding a little bit. And right now is a good time to buy.
Chip, real quick before I let you go, tell people how they can reach you. And if someone is interested in your business, how would they reach out to you?
Well, sure. At Lincoln Home Loans, you can reach me at 615-500-7579. My URL for my application page is chipward.net, and my email address is simply chip@chipward.net. And so I'd love to hear from anybody. I can answer any questions about the whole home buying and financing process.
Top of the hour on a Tuesday with Tony, although Tony Basilio is no longer.
I like it.
No longer with us.
Angling for that job, are you?
Yep, trying to get out to Knoxville. Mm-hmm. But first, stat of the day brought to you by John English Antique Sports and Cards. You can find them out in Shelbyville, Tennessee. You can find them at 204 East Depot Street. They're open during the week, Tuesday through Friday from noon to 5, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5. Give them a call at 931-492-4304. All right, let's see what we got. See if this one's any easier from Matthew here. We're going NHL. Last season, the Penguins missed the playoffs, ending their 16-year playoff streak. What two NHL teams are now tied for the longest active playoff streak with 7 straight seasons?
Okay, Kelly, you ready to try this?
Yeah, I'm saying Tampa Bay for one. Is it a good one?
I think you're right about Tampa. I think that's a very good choice. The Preds had a pretty long streak that ended up
last year,
going away. Yeah, are now tied for the longest active.
Right.
The St. Louis Blues had a long one, but I don't think
it's
St.
not
Louis
active
in the last years.
It's not active anymore, right?
Wow.
Tough one.
What the heck?
I'm saying Tampa Bay for one of them.
Okay, and I'll go New Jersey.
Okay, let's see. Both wrong.
That's lovely.
The Bruins and the Leafs, 2 of the original 6.
For 2.
Or is that what it's called, original 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, these have been tough.
He's digging deep.
He is.
Digging deep.
He better find one we can answer, or he could be replaced. I'm just
or physically hurt, according to Kelly.
Right?
Yeah,
Kelly has threatened bodily harm. That seems a little extreme. But we welcome all of you to the 3 o'clock hour, or shall we call it the Tomahawk Hour. Last night was insane. I got to admit, I've seen probably more baseball than anybody who will watch this show. I'm a baseball junkie. I love baseball. I love all sports. I'm very fortunate that I have gotten to spend my life talking things I am so passionate about and love. You know, there's a saying, I don't know if I'm the one that created it, but if you dread Monday on Sunday, you're in the wrong profession. And in sports, it's hard to dread Sunday when what you're talking about is child's play. This stuff is child's play, but boy, do we take it seriously. So last night was kind of do or die stuff. And the first tape that we're going to show you will have maybe a couple of different angles that you haven't seen. But at the end, for all of the hubbub about Austin Riley and the homer, and for all of the talk about the throw that he made at the end, watch the scoop. He made it look way easier than it really was. By the way, a couple of notes about Austin Riley. Austin Riley is a kid that grew up right on the border of this state, right on the Mississippi-Tennessee line. And in high school, in football, he was a punter. How about that?
Who would have thought?
Punter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all he played in high school?
That's what I've been told. That's hard to believe. He looks like he'd be the prototypical tight end, but he was a punter in high school. So we're going to Truist Park, which Saturday was just this side of a funeral home, and last night was a complete insane asylum. Watch. Now, I'm guessing on that one, but that's somebody from a camera deck over by the visiting dugout who got that shot. So I set up the wrong tape at the beginning. But listen, can we run that one again? Hold on a second. So you get the roar when Harris makes the catch, but then listen to the roar at the end. Because at 5 in the morning, when I heard this,
and it was an earthquake, one of those small earthquakes. I saw something on Twitter that they noticed some, and this is legit. They noticed some movement.
Oh my God!
At that time,
wow,
well,
wow,
it
that's
gave me
crazy.
Goosebumps. Listen to it again.
George, how many people go into that stadium?
44. It's built to hold 41. They have sold about 2,500 standing room only. Last night was the largest crowd in the history of that park, which they built 5,000 too small.
They are, and they are as locked in and passionate as a fan base.
Oh my God,
as any of them.
And at Turner Field, it was
big snooze
but
fest.
This place has really woken that base up. Let's listen to it again. Oh my God.
That's unbelievable.
Was I calm, cool, and collected? Hell no. Now, let's watch the longer tape of what really went on last night.
Well, this one is a little bit longer. It's taking a little bit to get this one rolling.
Oh.
I'll try to reload it in there.
Oh my goodness, Billy. This audition you're having for Big T in Knoxville is just not going over well, Hoss.
Well, this might work here.
And he swings and sends one down the right field line, down for a base hit. Acuna cuts the bag at second, dashes for third. There's the first hit of the night. Now the throw back in, gets away from Turner. Acuna heavy on the pedal, comes to the plate and scores. Finally, the Braves break through, and they are on the board here in Game 2. Travis hits one well to left field, heading back to the wall. Darno's got something to say. It's a 2-run homer, and it's a 1-run game here in the bottom of the 7th.
He is a notorious first pitch hitter, and he nailed that one. And that's going to end the night for Wheeler, so they did get a couple more off of him by leaving him in there.
Woohoo! 3-2 pitch. And he hits a high fly ball, deep left field, back to the wall, and is gone! Austin Riley hitting him where it hurts, and the Braves take the lead in the 8th. The Braves have erupted. They've taken the lead, and this place is an insane asylum. Ready to fire, 2-2. In the air, out towards right center field. Harris going to go back. Harris back to the warning track. He leaps. Michael's got it! He's got it! They fired it in, and it rolls across the infield. Taken by Riley. He throws to the bag. They double him off. Ball game over. Braves win. I've never seen a play like that.
Wow.
Braves even up the series. It was back to the wall. Harris went to the wall. Harper took off. He made a leaping catch of the wall. Fired it in. It rolled past Albies. Backing up the play was Riley. He secured it, threw to the bag, doubled off Harper, and the Braves even up the series.
Craziest double play you're ever going to see. What a catch by Michael Harris.
Holy moly.
That was awesome, man. That's what sports are for, man. That was awesome.
And it's like you didn't really expect it as a Braves fan. Like I was watching the whole thing and I was like, this just doesn't feel good.
No, but I started to sense when Darno hit the homer.
But after that
something.
Well, obviously, yeah, they're back. But I mean, through 5 innings, it was pretty down.
Lord, no.
I mean,
no, I was a shovel in the ground and decided to go in with the shovel.
He was literally thinking about going into the bathroom, running some water, and putting some and letting the veins have it, dude.
You know who texted me? David texted me. He said, I wonder if George threw himself off his house after those first 5 innings.
No, I wasn't at my house, so it was impossible to do. But for those who didn't hear it earlier, I was with 3 other friends trying to act calm while all this was going on. And they're giving me a lot of grief because I have said they're dead, they're buried, it's over, woe is me. And then all of a sudden when it's 4-3, I'm like, well, maybe, that's not what you said an hour ago. Well, and then when Riley hit the ball that ends up winning it, I didn't think he got enough of it. I couldn't tell. And I jumped off a couch and yelled, "Get out!" That felt good.
Did that scare them? Did that scare all the folks there?
I wondered about the neighbors. What did the neighbors who weren't
Did you say it that loud, George?
Oh, I said it louder.
Wow, you'll never be invited back. That's awesome.
Stood up, and luckily they're close friends who know what a lunatic I am. So I don't think that the Braves have announced, as we air this live, who they're going with in Game 3. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to divide it up amongst Bryce Elder and the young kid, Smith Shawver, and try and get 3 or 4 innings out of each of them in not necessarily a bullpen game, but they've kept Smith Shawver on that roster because he's a fireballer. He can really bring it. And Elder has not had as good a second half. First half, He was one of the best pitchers in the National League. Philly will go with Aaron Nola. You're hard-pressed to completely figure out Aaron Nola because there are certain nights where you're like unhittable, great 12-6 breaking ball. The Braves have bombed him over the years. They have owned him. I'm hoping more of the same. By the way, Aaron Nola is a free agent at the end of the year. If I'm the Braves, I'm looking real close at Aaron Nola.
I wouldn't hate that. He played in the SEC. He would probably fit right into a lot of other SEC Southern type guys. But George Strider could be available tomorrow as well.
Nah, I'm not buying it because he pitched on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. No way.
How did he pitch? I didn't get to see the game. How did Strider pitch?
He pitched great.
Did he?
Yeah. I mean, he deserved a better fate. Listen, the one thing I felt bad about, Max Fried is a baller. And I love Max Fried. But 3 weeks off, there was a rust factor he just couldn't get through. He didn't have it.
Yeah, after the game, Snit said, lengthwise, we got some options. It's a lot of things to consider. If we want to do an opener, who are we going to follow up with if we decide to do that? If we want to just go traditional route, it's a lot of different scenarios they're looking at right now.
I'd be shocked if they go Strider.
Yeah, I guess technically he'd be available, but you got to believe they would probably save him. But I'm with you, George. Maybe start Elder, and if he's rolling, keep him in. But, you've got the quick plug if you want. And then, Smith Shawver's pitched okay at times. I mean, he's shown some flashes. He's also been pretty bad at times. So that's what you get when you have young guys pitching in the postseason.
Look, right now, going to Philly is a monster. That crowd is worth so much for them.
Yeah.
And really over the last year and a half, they do not lose in postseason at home. To beat them, you're going to have either a great pitching effort or you score enough runs where you can get away with more of a mediocre pitching deal. It's a home run paradise. It's a park built for the Braves because balls fly out of there. But this just in, Philly's got some people and go long ball too. So we'll see.
And I guess the Braves could do a bullpen game as well. Throw some of their bullpen guys and maybe save Elder or Smith Shawver. But I have a feeling they go with Elder.
I think they go with where I went, Strider on Thursday and then Max Fried on Saturday. Because, look, I'm hard-pressed to believe the Braves can sweep in Philly. Nobody else has over the last year and a half in playoff baseball. I've thought all along, if the Braves are going to win it, it'll be in 5 in Atlanta.
So, George, what is a manager's thinking about this? I mean, I'm, novice to the sport. Like, what is a manager's thinking? Like, he's going back to Philly. Does he, put all his eggs in one basket to win this third game? Or how does that work? Because if they win the third game, then you're in another pressure-packed situation like you were last night to win the fourth game. So, how does that work? Are you doing everything in your realm of scope of coaching to win this third game? Obviously,
I think what you've asked is a great question because I think different managers do it differently.
Yeah.
If it's win at all costs tomorrow, then Billy might be right.
Yeah, if they were down 2-0, they would probably go with Strider because it's a must win.
Yeah.
But Kelly, since it's 1-1, I'm still thinking bullpen, right? You've got a bullpen game, basically, you've got 3 or 4 guys that you'll piece together for, one guy for 2, maybe one guy for 3.
I don't think they're
just
doing that.
Ride who's pitching well. But what they'll probably do is Elder, a guy that is, probably the best option right now. But if he's off, you've got a guy right behind him that you'll plug in, right, set before the game even starts.
If I'm right, it'll be a very short leash for whichever one of them starts it.
Yes,
absolutely.
Because I've seen this a lot. I mean, with Vandy and their postseason runs, they haven't been there lately, but they've had a lot of these same situations.
Sure.
Tennessee in the postseason. Who do you go with? It's tough. It's not easy.
And what are the rules about a pitcher? I know, in high school and in college, you got certain rules, but are there any rules for pitch counts and things like that for pitchers in the majors?
Not for pitch counts. A reliever now has to face 3 batters.
Okay.
That's the one rule in that has changed in the last 3 years.
Really? He's got to at least face 3 batters.
Which makes the whole lefty versus lefty a little harder.
Right.
Okay. But A.J. Minter, for instance, last night, A.J. Minter stayed in the ninth to try to get Bryce Harper, lefty versus lefty. Well, it didn't work. He walked him. And so Snit came out immediately and got Iglesias, who served up a big old meatball that got caught.
Yeah, he sure did.
Quick update. I think Sonny Gray, because that game has started, Sonny Gray's getting rocked. Astros take an early 4-0 lead, top of the first.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
So he has gotten rocked. I'm not sure if he's been
George,
pulled
I know
yet.
we got to go to a break, but one more thing, what that play last night, I mean, that kind of reminds me of something that is so stoic, like what Kirk Gibson did in that game with the Dodgers. Like, is that on the same line as that play right there from last night? Because I remember being a kid and seeing that.
Yeah.
And them talking about that on the radio about, I can't believe what I just saw. Like, that seems like kind of one of those plays, is it not?
A little bit. It's 30 years later, an older Braves fan knows exactly who Francisco Cabrera is.
Yeah.
He had the hit in 92 that beat Pittsburgh and sent them to the World Series, and I had left a half inning earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that one was a hard one to explain. It was dumb of me the next day on the air to admit it. I think this one is going to go down in a lot the same way, because you've got, help me, 8-5 center field. Hold on.
8-5-3. It'd be 8-5-3.
Five's your third baseman.
Correct, and that Austin Riley.
Oh, that's right. 8-5.
Yeah.
Okay, 8-5-3.
Yeah.
You're going to 8-5-3 is going to be something that a Braves fan 30 years from now will remember. Oh yeah. This is going to be one, because it's maybe the craziest ending I've ever seen.
Well, Terry brought it up too. It does remind you a little bit of that Derek Jeter play.
Yeah.
Being heads up and just making a play when you need it.
I know we're late. After the break, Mark McGee will join us. The Predators are an hour and 5 minutes from their opener in Tampa. We'll talk about the team when we come back.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from, and for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5685.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonleyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? We still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
Really an interesting time of the year where all four of the big sports kind of merge a little bit. Baseball's in postseason, football's in the middle of the season. All of a sudden, hockey starts tonight, NBA just around the corner. With that in mind, Mark McGee joins us to talk a little Preds hockey. Gee, how are you?
I'm doing great, George.
So I think all of us agree that the moves that Barry Trotz made in the offseason, some that were designed to strengthen, others that were addition by subtraction, I think most of the fan base feels pretty good about the moves he's made. Do you think this is a playoff team?
That's the question everybody's talking about right now. I think one of the best things that I've heard is a commentator that a couple months ago said that when there's a nuclear holocaust, the only thing that will be living will be roaches and the Nashville Predators. So
wow. It's a good line.
I think that's one. I had to steal that one. I forget who said it now, but I thought it was great. But they're going to hang around. One thing that really is interesting to me is that they were in the mushy middle. Everybody's pretty much saying it's Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, probably the Minnesota Wild, and everybody else scrambling for fourth. But something happened a couple days or so ago that I'm wondering if it's going to change everything. The Winnipeg Jets have been kind of a problem for a while. They made a couple of really big moves. They re-signed Connor Hallenbuck, their all-star goalie, and also Mark Shafley, their top center, for lots of money. And that changes the whole complex. Winnipeg went through training camp wondering what was going to happen. Training camp's over, season beginning. They signed those two guys, and that really, I think, changes the way people look at Winnipeg to some extent. St. Louis is not really much better than last year, probably, looking at it on paper. Nashville is one of those. Nashville's a team that a lot of young guys, some new faces, a new offense, new coach with a new offense. I think they're going to be an exciting team. I think people are going to come watch them play because I think they're going to score a lot of goals. They're big. Burnett's a big possession type coach, and I think they're going to score a lot of goals. Their power play should be a lot stronger. Are they a playoff team? Maybe. I'm not going to buy my playoff seats now. They may be that fourth team, but they're going to have to play really well from that standpoint. Again, injuries play a lot of roles in that as well. So I don't know. I'd like to be able to say yes, they're a playoff team, but I can't say that. I think they're not. Can't say that either. It's somewhere in the middle there. I just don't really know. There are a lot of ifs to come up right now. And UC Soros, who should have won the Vesna Trophy last year, is in goal, and that's having a great goaltender makes a big difference. Just ask Tampa Bay tonight, who lost Andre Vasilevsky for next couple of months, who's going to be a Hall of Fame goaltender. Soros probably will be eventually too, but losing goaltenders can be a hard thing to overcome. So as long as Soros is healthy, I think that things are going to be that's going to be great. Be interested tonight against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay beat Nashville both times they played them last year, and also beat them in the preseason this year as well. So it'll be interesting to see how all that works out tonight. They're the first game of the season for the second year in a row.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting from that standpoint. So you're talking about the addition by subtraction. Ron Johansson has found new life with the Colorado Avalanche. They love him up there. And Matt Duchene with the Stars, people feel like since he's not going to have as much pressure on him to maybe be a big time scorer, that he's going to bounce back to what he should have been when he was with Nashville. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. So,
Guy, at the end of the season, the young guys took this big step forward that was very encouraging to everybody. They were fun to watch. Do you think they just pick up right where they left off, or is there a little bit of backslide before they get back to that level?
Well, from look like training camp, everybody was pretty good shape from that standpoint. I think Tom Sobek, can he be as good as last year? Hopefully so. He had a outstanding, surprisingly good year last year. Luke Evangelista came on strong, and Phil Tomasino, UC Parson. There are a lot of good guys on that offense right now. So it'll be interesting to see how those guys work out. But I think that can they start back what they were last year? Hopefully so. They look like I said, they look pretty good in training camp, and so I think that they should be okay from that standpoint. So we'll see how it all works out. Ron O'Reilly being one of the acquisitions they made, be on the front line from an offensive standpoint. He's going to be a big help, I think. Forsberg is on the line with him, and looks like Parson is on the other side. So, and Forsberg is, everybody's expecting Forsberg to be back to what he was in 2021, 2022 after only playing 50 games last year. He's back in form. Big plus offensively. If O'Reilly can contribute like he has with St. Louis, that would be great from that standpoint. So, and these young guys, I think they're a question mark because they're young, but I think they've shown that they can play for the most part. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they jump out tonight against Tampa Bay. They're playing against a backup goaltender. So let's see how it works out against them. And I think Tampa Bay's defense is a little bit weaker than it was last year, and one of the reasons is Ryan McDonough is playing for the Predators. So that he was. So I think it'll be interesting to see how their defense hangs up. But like I said, preseason, it was hard. It was hard to really tell because the way teams were playing up, we're putting teams on the ice. It's really hard to get a good read for what's happening with teams preseason. A lot of that's dress rehearsals and just tryout situations. So, but I think that. It'd be great to have a start to win on the road at Tampa. Go back against the Seattle Kraken, who have been Predator killers in the 1 year they were in the league. The Predators did not fare well against the Kraken, and a lot of people weren't. The Kraken can be as good as last year. They just kept on winning, and can they keep on winning like they did last year? A lot of people are wondering if that's going to happen. So Pacific Division used to be kind of a weaker division than the Atlantic, but Pacific Division is going to be a lot stronger this year.
Yeah, George and Guy, I think you'll like this. You mentioned Ryan McDonough and Ryan O'Reilly. Barry Trotz talked about that earlier today. He said, to me, it's the most critical dynamic we have with this team. We need the McDonoughs and the O'Reillys to have an impact on Cody Glass, Tommy Novak, Kiefer Sherwood, and obviously the younger guys like Evangelista and Tomasino, if they're able to do what I've seen on other teams, then it'll really help our development go up the charts and become serial winners as a group. So that's the biggest thing with this team. Can the older guys bring those younger guys up to their level and play physically?
Serial winners. I like that.
Yeah, that's a Barry Trotz.
That is.
Close.
Yeah, that's a good Barry Trotz line from that standpoint. I had not seen this morning's report, but I have to agree with him. He's basically saying what I was just saying, that Riley can really be a great leader for this offense, and if Forsberg's going strong, boy, the two of them can really carry these guys along to some extent. So I'll be interested to see what happens from that standpoint. Like I said, it looked like in training camp they were having some kind of effect on those players. So we'll see how it goes with McDonough. And on defense, will be a real plus there from the defensive standpoint. And so and McDonough and Curry were playing on the same line some, so we'll see how that goes and see how that works out from that standpoint. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. You look at the offensive line, you look at the top four lines, and they're not that. I don't think they're all that a problem. I don't think they're going to be actually pretty good. Nyquist and Cody Glass are probably on the second line, and Thompson Novak and Evangelista on the third one, which has projection. And so they'll be interested to see how that works out. Sisson's going to be on the fourth line. There's some depth there, I think, especially at the center position with O'Reilly and the one center position on the top line there. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. So.
Kelly, what do you got for Gee?
I'm just thinking, I'm just sitting here looking at this schedule, and we talked about it earlier, Gee, but like Tampa Bay, Seattle, Boston, Edmonton, New York Rangers, like you're going to find out a lot about the team. How many wins would you take out of that 5?
Boston's a win. Boston's not Boston anymore.
For sure.
Boston, but the Bruins are not the Bruins of last year or the year before. Bruins are going to be the Bruins are not going to be a playoff team this year, I don't think.
Okay.
Edmonton's the darling for everybody this year. Everybody thinks Edmonton. If you're going to bet money on Stanley Cup playoffs and for a Stanley Cup winner, a lot of people are thinking your money should go into Edmonton. They have always been a darling to some extent, but everybody feels like this is the year they have to do it. So their goaltending situation is always a question, but offensively they're strong with some of the top players in the league offensively. So I'm interested to see how all that works out with them. So, yeah, I would say if you win 2 of those games out of that stretch, I think you'd probably be fairly happy. But 3 would be great.
And this will be my last thing because, it's obviously early, but which one of the free agents do you think will be the most important to the Predators coming up year?
How about Riley's the real bell cow for them? I liked him with St. Louis, and I'm kind of a closet Blues fan. I used to listen to them on the radio when I was in high school when I was doing my homework. So I kind of always been a Blues fan to some extent. So, but I watched them along the way. But I would hope he is going to carry on what he's done in the past to go from there. I think he could really be a plus if he's strong in that position, and especially on the number 1 center spot.
Preds season begins 50 minutes from now. That's right.
Yes.
4:30 on ESPN tonight. In the opener of ESPN's triple header, Blackhawks are in game 2 with the new kid, Connor Bedard.
Who cares about him? Put the Preds at night.
Yeah, come on.
You think anybody watching Connor Bedard play today?
There might be a few.
I've got a buddy.
He's got a lot of pressure on him.
Yes, he does. Guy, thank you as always for the visit. We'll probably check back in next week.
That'd be nice. I'd like to hear from you. That'd be super.
Mark McGee joining us to talk Preds hockey. After the break, a 1-game winning streak in Plaster Bet of the Day is coming up.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, Class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Final segment on a Friday. Preds and Lightning coming up to, I was going to say kick off. What do you say? Start the NFL.
Drop the puck.
Drop the puck on the NHL.
Drop the puck.
On the NHL season. 4:30 on ESPN, so looking forward to that. But first, Plaster's Bet of the Day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Let's see what happened last night. And as George said, little one-game winning streak going on.
It's about time.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, that was a good call.
So we have 3 college football games tonight. Middle is at 6 o'clock at home against La Tech.
Come on, Middle.
I did not go with that one because I don't know what to think after I watched the meltdown against Jacksonville State. I don't know what to think with Middle.
They can't protect the quarterback.
No. Okay, so here is where we are going.
Oh, App State. Goes to Carolina.
State.
Couple of 6.5s.
Kelly, I don't think that that Coastal Carolina is what they have been.
They're not.
So I'm going App State to cover at home. Now, the other one is dicey. I'll just say it up front.
It's going to be real dicey.
This is really dicey. Jacksonville State is essentially making a rise in class. Yeah. And they have done very well under Rich Rodriguez. What are they?
Really
Kelly,
well.
Are they 5-1?
I don't even know what their record is, George. I couldn't tell you. I just know that they trounced Middle last week.
Yeah, it's either 4-1 or 5-1. But Liberty, that's a little different ball game.
Jamie Chadwell, former coach at Coastal.
But I think you're going to see the home field mean something.
So this is at Jack State?
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to be 1-1.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, George. I think Liberty's on the up and coming. I think they're just about to trounce Conference USA, and I think the Liberty University folks will be a Power 5 school in 5, 6, 7 years.
I agree, Kelly. I think watch out for them. Maybe Big 12. Maybe if the ACC falls apart.
They've got loads of money.
Loads
I mean,
of money.
loaded.
They have put a buttload of money.
Yeah.
100 million,
like 200 million.
Yeah, it was 100 million or 200 million dollars in the last 10 years in all their athletic facilities. That's the prettiest campus I've ever been on, George. It's crazy.
I hear it's beautiful. So I need a night off from the Braves. I'll just be honest. Mentally, I am shot.
Your nerves are shot, Hoss.
Nerves are shot. I'll be ready tomorrow. I think it's a 4:00 game tomorrow. So don't think we're going to be on till 4.
4:00 Central?
I think I'm right about that tomorrow in Philly.
That's ridiculous.
Kelly, tomorrow on the show, we'll get a report on those hunker down Georgia Bulldogs who are coming to town. And then we're going to ask Danny Evans the question, does MLB have to rethink exactly how they're trying to reward the 1 and the 2 seeds? Because the 1s and the 2s in this round in the home games went 2 and 6. It didn't feel like a reward. It felt like teams that were rusty, very rusty. So
yeah,
we'll talk with Danny about that tomorrow. Kelly, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Lord willing. See you there.
Billy?
Yep.
Try to behave until then.
I'll try. I'll see you in Knoxville tomorrow.
Wow. Already taking the job. So the resume tape worked.
Yeah, Tony's giving me a raise.
Really? He's got that kind of money? Because we're paying big bucks on this show. If you believe that, I got land in Florida. See you tomorrow.